Alright, so today guys, we're going to be on Empire's border and we're going to be in the Hawk 30. Now for the next week and a half, you're probably pretty much only going to see the Hawk 30. This is just the tank that I've been playing a crap ton of, so it's the vehicle I'm in for a lot of these replays. But this game on Empire's border is going to be very interesting, right? We only bring a couple people to the north side of this map, and you're going to see here that I almost immediately encounter a Progetto 66. In fact, the EBR is the one who spotted him, so I was able to get out of here. I see him right here, and as soon as I see him, I turn around and I start running away. So I'm going to kind of fast forward until I get to this little corner over here, because I actually run all the way out, and then I see that we only have the TVP here, the EBR, the Charioteer, and me. And I'm thinking, okay, this is not good because we've left the north of this map completely open. So I come all the way back to this corner, guys. At this point, I'm already at this corner. Now, keep an eye over here at everybody that gets lit on the map. I actually make a mistake here, and I didn't notice that everyone had already gotten lit on the map, as you'll see, right? So people keep getting spotted here, and EBR is up here now, so these two EBRs are going to have, a little bit of a battle here. But I can't really help this guy from here. The Charioteer can. I should have been here, because as you can see now everybody is getting lit on the map except the Scorpion. So they're all over here, and at this point I'm starting to kind of run away because I'm thinking that this entire part of the map is gone. And I'm thinking that people are going to start pushing around this way, but it can only be the Scorpion, right? So always pay attention over here. I made this mistake in this game, and I could have been where the Charioteer was and tried to help the EBR 90. But let's kind of fast forward a little bit. I'd like to do a good overview of this map, so I want to kind of get through this replay fairly quickly, and then I will do the overview and the kind of the map strategy for you guys. So Progetto 66 again is still sitting on this corner. The LT-432 has now pressed into the EBR 90. The Sioux is over here. I'm able to get one HE shell into him. I try for a second one. I miss it. And here comes the LT-432. Watch all this from my camera view. You can see the LT-432 jumps over the edge here. I'm not sure what this guy is doing. Pretty wild of him. And now I'm going to try and snap the EBR. For whatever reason there, sometimes when you auto-aim, it just misses. Like I right-clicked, left-clicked, and it didn't take, right? So I did it again here, and I'm able to hit him that time, and I'm just going to get away from the Progetto now. But I think my only mistake here was not trying to help the EBR a little bit more from this corner and then retreating. However, I probably would have lost even more HP if I was there with the Charioteer, because the LT-432 and the EBR 90 immediately ran like this. Like literally over the cliff edge. LT-432 did a barrel roll, and we were already at this passageway ready to get out. So watch what happens now as we kind of progress. These guys aren't really going to press yet, and I'm thinking, all right, well, let me look at the map and see where else I can use my gun. So I'm going to come back, and I actually help the Kunzenpanzer eliminate the Cobra over here. The Cobra appears at the perfect time. I'm able to get one into him as the Kunzenpanzer's getting one into him, and we clean up the Cobra. Now you'll see that the Progetto 66 is actually going to push in. And what can I do in this situation? Well, I'm going to try and use this area of the map, because you can kind of go up a little bit like this, and you can even shoot through trees. And it's my hope that I don't get lit here, but I know I'm going to get lit anyway. But right now, the Charioteer is going to be in the bad spot, right? The Progetto's going to come around, clean this guy up. Now I am able to get a free shot because of that, but now it's me and the Kunzenpanzer, and we kind of have to deal with this guy. However, this is going to be pretty simple, because look at the angles that me and the Kunzenpanzer have, right? So this guy has to choose one of the two of us, right? So I'm going to back down, make it look like I'm not really going to press this guy, and then obviously I'm going to poke back up as he turns towards the Kunzenpanzer. And now I don't even need the heats. I can honestly hit this guy with the APCRs, but I just keep the heats loaded. This is what I do. So we end up cleaning this guy up, but look, now this side of the map is actually doing okay. They're starting to bring it back. So what can me and the Kunzenpanzer do? Well, we have to press, man. Like, we have to go towards the enemies now. We've cleaned up this side of the map, and I'm telling the Kunzenpanzer, like, dude, don't let go of W. Like, we gotta get going here. We gotta keep flanking into this team. So now at this point, the Skodas are going to push around. They're still both almost full HP. Skoda has taken I don't know, maybe he lost about a quarter of his HP. The other Skoda is full HP. And M48 Patton still has half his health. Kunze still has half his health. The Scorpion is a one-shot, if you can see up here in the top right. So I'm just going to go after the Scorpion because I know I can take one from this guy at this point. Even if he shoots HE, I should be able to survive that still. So I'm going after the Scorpion. He ends up appearing right here. Now I can eliminate this guy because the M48 Patton and the Kunze might have been in harm's way against the Scorpion here. But they are not going to be in harm's way any longer because I come around the corner, I'm able to clean this guy up with a well-placed HE shell. Didn't even have to be well-placed, but there you go. And now Kunze and the Skoda and the Patton down there are able to clean up the PZ-176, and that's the game. So this was a pretty quick game, but you know, quite a few things happened here, right? We left the north wide open, pretty much. I retreated back to this corner. You can call this passive. I'm sure a lot of people will get in here and comment like, dude, you were way too passive. Maybe so. I could have joined the charioteer here and probably, if I looked at the team lineup and saw that how many people were spotted, could have taken the chance to try and help the EBR-90 with crossfire like so. But I think I made the decision I made, and we were defensive, but it paid off when it came to cleaning up the Progetto in this area and holding down, you know, the enemy team from pushing north to south towards our base, right? Once the Progetto was cleaned up, then we made a play to go all the way around and flank the Scorpion, which I thought was a pretty decent play. And these guys, you know, our heavies were good. Like, these two Skodas were good players and all, and the mediums were pretty good. So did they really need my help this game? I mean, maybe we could have won this game without me. But my point being, guys, is like, this is why I'm passive. I like to emphasize this replay. Of all the replays that you watch from me, you can tell how passive I was here, and it ended up paying off. And this is why a lot of times I am so passive, because you get these more consistent games. You're able to stay alive longer, and if you do lose the game, well, at least you still have some HP and you're in good zones to fight off the enemy before you die, right? That's what I'm all about. I'm all about these consistent games, guys. People can say what they want. Everyone plays the game differently. You know, you're not going to agree with every play another person makes, right? Like, even Steel Guts in Tennessee, we have almost the exact same play style. There's still some plays I see him make where I'm like, yeah, dude, I probably wouldn't have done that. And there's plays that I make where he's like, whoa, you know, that's too much for me, or I would have been more aggressive. You know what I mean? So even really good light tank players that are very, very similar in their play styles still make different plays and do different things. When none of us play this game exactly the same, someone's always going to disagree with you. But I like to really show you guys why I'm so passive and why I like to conserve my HP as much as I possibly can. People can, you know, comment how they want, but that's what I want to show you guys here. So let me get into a quick overview of this map. And really what you have here, guys, is the north is the most complicated portion of this map. I'm going to draw this out for you real quick on this side of the map. So what you have over here is I'm just going to use B for brawling zone, right? You have two brawling zones right here. Actually, this is more like this. Okay, whatever shape that is, two shapes. But you have these two brawling zones where your team's going to go this way, their team's going to go this way, your team's going to do this, and their team is going to do this, right? So that's what you have. You have these two brawling zones. They're corridors. It's better to go hold down, in my opinion, probably on this hill, but you can do it on this little hill as well. If you're side scraping, you're better off probably coming to this corner. And that's how this area of the map works. There's nothing more to it than that, other than the fact that you have this little gap right here, this little opening. And this actually becomes quite vital, because if you win the hill, then you can easily make these pokes in this area right here to clean up people in this entire area, or to even get crossfire people in this area, because you do have the render range. Now, what happens on the north side of this map is a lot of times you have like light tanks that try and get in this bush here, or they just do this, like they're just messing around up here. I don't really bother with this. The reason being is you get caught out here pretty easily, because sometimes you'll get like other mediums and tank destroyers that will push up like this at you, and they're more safe to do that than your teammates that might do something like this, right? It's just the way the terrain works. Because of the way this hill is like going this way, right? It's almost parallel to this side, but it's more perpendicular to this side. So I know that's a lot of like weird math and whatever, like I'm kind of sciencing the crap out of this, but that's what I want to emphasize to you guys, is just really pay attention to the way the map is, you know, made, because these people have a big advantage over here, the tank destroyers, in my opinion, at getting shots at people in this area and stuff, and also taking shots at this part of the map without being as exposed, right? Because once you have this, so okay, let me pause. This is another brawling zone right here, and once you have people in this area, look, the enemy team can stay safe right here in this entire area. But over here, all you have is like breakable buildings for our spawn, right? So that's a big imbalance, right? It's you know, it's not very balanced. And what happens is you get people that will take shots like this and they get crossfire at you. So the north is a little tricky to understand. As you can see, as I'm kind of, you know, basically giving you the tips and tricks for this portion of the map, right? But what's going to end up happening is you're going to have people coming up like this, right? And you're going to have people coming up like this. And again, there's the brawling zone right here. And you just have to watch for the crossfire. I really like, from this particular spawn, driving up to this corner right here, because from this corner, you have really, really easy shots right from here at people that are crossing like this. It doesn't really work the same going the other way, because the way the terrain works, and again, the way just the map is designed, like people come up like this and the vision just isn't quite the same, right? You can see this entire thing from this hill right here, but from right here, all you have is like this little gap right here to see people briefly, and it just doesn't quite work the same, right? So you have what looks like a very even, equal map where it's the same on both sides, but it's really not. You have to find these little differences with the map and how the map is kind of, you know, made in, and understand where those weak points or strong points are going to be for your team. So again, if you win the hill, that's why the hill is so important, and why you see a lot of people go there. You have a lot of that crossfire coming from this zone, and that's going to help you win the north. And obviously you don't want to leave the north wide open, because that's what we did in this particular game, right? We left the north wide open and they won this entire thing, but luckily the enemy team didn't really take advantage of that. I didn't see a lot of them press into this area. The Progetto came after us. The Scorpion went back this way. Maybe some of those guys did press in here and they died because we had a lot of people in this area. That's possible. But when you do win the north, sometimes it's good to either send your people through this way, or like everyone either goes this way or everyone goes this way, right? You don't really want to split up, in my opinion, like they did, because I think it was much easier for us to counter that push. So that's all on this map, guys. Again, if you have any questions, do let me know. I argue and emphasize once again, the north is much more complicated than the south portion of this map. The south is just corridors. It's a big brawling section. You have the brawling section here, but it's all these little areas you got to figure out for yourself in a light tank, right? I like to just try and mess around in the middle here until I feel like we've lost this side of the map and I'll retreat, or I'll stick around and start to try and advance and get into like these areas and get shots into the tank destroyers and stuff if I see that we are progressing it, right? But just be very careful in the north on Empire's border. Really understand all the angles, guys. If you're playing mediums and heavies, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier in Empire's border just to see what's going on, because everything's going to be right in front of you in the south side on the south side of this map. So that's all. Let's get into the emplates, guys. I'll leave this open for a thumbnail. And again, I'm not a map expert, guys. Like, I'm pretty good at light tanks. If there are people that watch this video that are much better at the game than me, like, you guys can feel free to comment below and help other people out. You know, there's people that have hundreds, like over 100,000 battles in this game that probably know way more about the maps and can give you guys many more pointers in terms of strategy. But that's my opinion and how I see the map, and I hope that it helps you out. So this was a second class game, 1617 damage, 103 assists. We had 5 module damage, it looks like 2 kills. And we were kind of in the middle of the pack by damage, it looks like, and we had 915 experience, which was 4th here, so we did all right. Our Patton had a really good game, man. Look at this guy. Shout out to Senator Cookies. This guy is a monster. I mean, he played a very, very good game. And that's all, guys. that's all I have for you. This was about 17, a little over 1700 combined. We really didn't get any assist, but I think we adjusted to the game how we needed to adjust. And that's all I can say. We only penned half our shots, so maybe we would have gotten more damage if we hit more of them. I think we had a good amount of bounces like on the Progetto and stuff like that. So, and that's all, guys. If you learned anything from this, feel free to leave a comment below. And, you know, it helps me when you guys comment saying, hey, Whirls, this helped me out. I appreciate it. Or if you guys have advice like, hey, man, it'd be cool if you tried this or tried that. I'm all, you know, open for your guys' ideas. But again, I have to just always emphasize, like, I am not like a wargaming World of Tanks expert, right, guys? It's my hope that you learn from this content, but I'm not like some Unicom player, so just always keep that in mind. Do sub, guys, if you enjoy the content and you're learning from it. Really helps me out. Like, comment, and share it. That helps it get recommended more, and I will see you guys for the next video. Take care. Bye bye.